Hello everyone and welcome back to the video. So today we're looking at a rec review sent in by Clockwork Jeff. He's playing in blue as the Berbers, and he's up against Boo Boo playing in red as the Chinese. And he's playing at 950 ELO currently, which should be a nice ELO to review. I don't think I've done one around this ELO yet. I think it's a nice ELO to review because it hits a lot of different people. You've got the guys that are, number one, heart stuck and ranked and don't know how to improve. Number two, the guys that are newer players, or swapping over from campaign, swapping over from single player, or the guys that are just trying to take rank more seriously. They've been playing casual for a couple of years and they want to start taking it seriously. All of those groups find themselves at 900 ELO, 950 ELO usually. And I think this guy here is doesn't have that many ranked games played, but we'll see. This is one of my Patreon members. He sent this one in, and it's the first game I review of his. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look. What times to speed the Dark Age? While I just talk about a couple of things that could be could be done better. Number one, we could be scouting with sheep. This is not a huge deal. I see you doing it, trying to do it. And number two, we want to kill one animal at a time only. Those are generally speaking two really good, really good things to do in Dark Age. And now we're going to loom early. Interesting. Okay, so I'm not sure what's going on here, why we're going to go for the early loom. Unless you want to loom before you even attempt to bore. Maybe that's the case. But I can tell, like, your build order is just a little off here. Yeah, so you can really benefit from just grabbing one of my build orders and trying to copy it a little bit better. Because what you're supposed to have happen is like 6 on sheep and then 2 to wood. And then you go grab your boar. But what's instead happening is that you're kind of just, you're kind of just freestyling it, You're kind of just doing what feels right in the moment. And there's a lot of things that are not flowing too well at the moment for you. So let's see how you not recover, but you continue from this. I'm gonna go ahead and use the TC trick. I'm impressed that was that smooth. Okay, well done. Now you're gonna go for the lumber camp. Okay, cool. So my question to you, Jeff, is like, what are we doing here with the 2 straggler trees? What gave you this idea, right? I think this is very common amongst low elo legends. I think that's what they call them, right? You guys just love straggler trees. So my question is, what gave you this idea that this is like a good thing? Straggler trees are better in feudal age and not in dark age. In dark age, they're just inefficient and quite frankly unnecessary to take. But we're going to continue from this position. Okay, no problem. At this point, I'm pretty sure you're just freestyling again. Definitely could use like looking at a build order. It might seem boring, but it's really just not. Watch one of my dark ages and just try to copy. It's going to put you in a better position in feudal age. Because now what's happening is like these guys are on straggler trees. And these guys are on straggler trees. And we just have like way too much wood for no reason. We could use a little bit of extra food, if anything, to try to click up a little bit faster, a little bit cleaner. But nonetheless, it's okay. I mean, 40 idle TC seconds, so we're down 1 villager. Opponent having some similar struggles here. And still kind of randomizing where the vills go. But overall, it's looking okay. I can tell you know what you're doing as a general concept, which is good. Gonna go over to the berries. Okay. Let's continue going here. Yeah, definitely would take a look at the Dark Age. Your best quality Dark Age was scouting. I think you did a good job scouting. You found everything, which is good. And I think the rest could use some work as far as where vills go and all that. And now exactly the consequences of your actions. Yeah, this is exactly what I didn't want to see. So because you're not following the right order of vills, you're actually clicking up later and all of our hunt is gone. So now we're forced to do something like this and sending all our vills to berries. Believe it or not, if you're watching this at a higher level, this happens all the time. I do some coaching around 950, 1000 ELO, 900 ELO. This happens all the time where if food runs out and you think, okay, just send everything to berries and that's it. It's actually not the right way to do it. The berries, guys, maximum 6 vills. And the rest should be sent to wood. But here, just for your sake, like, I highly recommend, again, that we stick to the basics. And now we're going to try to wall. Interesting. Okay, we're doing a lot of things at once here. Yeah, the basics of, like, where the vills should go. Because now we only have 4 on wood. So we're actually going to run into some problems, like not being able to afford, like, military production and all that, right? So now we're going to go ahead and start walling. This is good. Okay. This is good, but my advice to you in feudal age, walling is good, but you don't want to wall too far out. Like I can tell here you walled here to keep this golden. That gold you're not going to use until like minute 30 plus, okay? that gold will not help you for now. And you're trying to wall for now, for right now, okay? So it's much better for you to wall as close as possible to your base, like from here straight, like right there, for example. Leave the gold out, doesn't matter, and just get fully walled as fast as possible. That is the goal of your walls in Feudal Age. Okay, now we're farming around the mill. Okay, now you're really getting interesting here. This does make me smile, to be honest. It's very nice to see this, because I can just, it just feels fun. Farming around the mill, we're taking the berries. It's a nice little like engine, little engine to start getting some food income. But again, this is, if you want to try to get a bit better, this would definitely be just like another mistake. The way you should do it is farm around your town center first, because this, if enemy army comes in right now, these guys are actually very exposed. And we also didn't go for any production buildings, nor did we go for eco upgrades. So let's go over some very like basic concepts here. And this is actually a nice video for YouTube as well. I see you did get double bidax. This is actually a nice little, very basic, very beginner video, because this is like some, some things that we have to go over. Start of Feudal, you should always get both eco upgrades at around this level. It should just be a no-brainer. At the very least, though, we should always get double bidax. And the second thing is you should always have some kind of army on the field right away. So in this case, you just went for a couple spearmen, which is fine. But because your opponent's on 2 ranges, we don't have like a stable or anything. We could easily fall behind and start taking some damage, okay? So that's one thing that, I would rather see you go with a stable first, get a couple scouts out, so you have some military, and then go back to your walls. But if you don't want to do the stable, and you just want to get the walls down, that's fine. Just do smaller walls, because this is taking you a little bit too long. And what's funny is that your opponent is actually going for a very similar thing. He made the ranges. It's the only difference. Okay, so just to give you like a nice idea of what's going wrong right now, because of all this inefficiency, right? You might look at it, you see something's wrong, you don't really know what though. You're actually down 400 resources, all right? 400 resources is basically like all of your food and wood at the moment. That's 400 resources, so he's got like double that basically. Obviously not in the stockpile, he's got it in military, which is even more deadly. And I'm gonna go to gold. So again, I think the best thing I can recommend is that you look at a builder, or you look at like how I'm doing Dark Age Feudal Age, because I can tell you're still freestyling stuff. General concepts though, no problem. General concepts, you want to go ahead and make farms as fast as you can, because we're trying to get to Castle Age, right? That's the goal of Feudal Age, getting to Castle Age. And the way they do that is to get to 800 food, which takes a while, so we should start farming. But now I want to see how you deal with this pressure, because the archers are coming in. To be honest, even if we are fully walled, okay, just a couple extra tips as well, just for the viewers watching as well, maybe. When you're doing the walls, like these 2 are not needed, because you have the tree there, right? So these 2 are not needed. Also on this side, these 2 are not needed. You can just like clip out some of your walls like that, because now they're taking up a lot of time. And now you're gonna go blacksmith and stable. Okay. So you're going to transition to Castle Age. I just wonder how you're going to deal with these archers coming in now. You're going to make a tower. You know what? Actually, that's really good. I was going to suggest exactly that. That's really good. You go for a tower. You're going to defend yourself. It's perfect. And you're working your way towards Castle Age. You know what? As a bare bones Dark Age, like Dark Age Feudal Age rather, you have some idea of what you want to do at least. Okay? You understand like the threat of what's coming in. The tower is a great decision. And you are trying to like both buildings for Castle Age, you're getting some farms, you got some gold. You have like the, again, very rough framework of what you want to do here. If you can build on that and improve this, that would be the way to go here. Yeah, we have no military. This is the downside. So now you're gonna make scouts. This is exactly the point I was making earlier. If you make the scouts beforehand, and then you make the economy afterwards, or you make the walls afterwards, you would already have 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, maybe 7 scouts on the field right now. You'd already have that. But because you made them late, because you didn't make a stable, now your opponent is in your base, and only now you're starting to make the units. And they take time to come out, so this is why units first is like the best way to play Feudal Age. Because now you're going to take some damage. You might even start losing some villages. I think you already lost 1. You might, to the scouts, you might start losing more to the archers now. And all of this could be avoided if you just had a few scouts on the field. All right, cool. I made a video actually recently on Patreon. It's called How to Recover After Disaster Strikes. And we went over some key points there. Excuse me. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. But the idea here, I'll give a little leak to YouTube as well. The idea here is that we need to kill this army at some point, okay? Excuse me. We have to kill this army at some point. This is a very crucial part of defense, is that we don't want to let our opponent's army linger on our base. And that's good. You're gonna send the scouts over there to clear them. And then once we clean them, we can send our villagers back to work. Very important. Nice. So again, you see the 4 scouts that we could have had these earlier. They were enough to clear it. But it's good that we cleared it at least at some point. And now we can continue developing. So now back to the game plan. Back to trying to get to Castle Age. You have too much wood. This is because you have simply too many villas on wood and not enough on farms. And you're not making the farms fast enough. Those are the 2 reasons. And now we find ourselves that it's going to take us a little longer to get the Castle Age. For context, with this simple scouts wall build, I would be in Castle Age at the moment already in Castle Age. I would click up. I would probably hit Castle around 18, 19 minutes, something like that, with making 4 scouts. Obviously, I'm not expecting you to do it as good as me. It's a fact. Or as good as top players. But what you're trying to do is just get there as quickly as possible. So now that you got the full walls, you're relatively safe. You can always re-wall behind it. So him breaking in is not really a big threat. My recommendation here is you have 2 options. Either you continue making scouts, get bloodlines and try to clear him. Or you wall up behind and get the Castle Age. Both are very valid. And let's see which one you go for. I like this. I like that you're queuing up 5 vills at the same time. Archery range. I literally just did a review where I talked about this. So the range switch, I'll go over it here as well. The range switch, it's not really needed after you have the full walls. At this point, you want to play towards your cavalry. I would even rather see a second stable here. Unless there's like 10 pikemen or 10 spears, second stable is almost always good. Because it lets you get bloodlines in, you can get armor, forging, upgrade that unit. And that unit will be very strong to clear everything. Now, what happens if you make a range, you're going to switch to skirms? What happens is, you're going to be stuck between scouts not upgraded and skirms not upgraded. And you're not going to have a single unit that's actually, doing well. Okay? So let's take a look. Let's see how you go about things here. You're going to force his army back. Okay. Oh, wait. You just ran your whole wood line. Okay. that was super random, actually. I think they were safe here. But maybe you want to split it up. That was really random. I don't know why you did that one. If you want to split them up, usually like send half. And half can make a new lumber camp. But now this tower is doing nothing. Now we're going to go to stone. Ooh, why are we going to stone? You want to go camel archer? Or maybe you just want to take a bit more stone for more towers, maybe. Yeah, obviously at this point, camel archer is not necessary at all. We'll fast forward here. So what you should do here, to be honest with you, with the information I've been given, we should just play straight into 2 stable scouts. 2 stable knights. Straight into there. So we get bloodlines, foraging, armor, and you get 2 stable knights. This is perfect. Going to stone here makes no sense because camel archers are not good against archers. They're actually better against cavalry or infantry. So up against archers, you want to go for your knights. So what's going to happen here is a classic low-level mistake. Very classic. You're going to be stuck between multiple units. And I knew as soon as I saw the range that this is exactly going to happen. Basically, just very simple. If you get to a single fully upgraded unit at any point this game, I will never play Age of Empires ever again. So if you can get to a fully upgraded unit at any point this game. Until super late game, let's put it like that. I don't know how long this is going. But the reason why I can make this claim, and I'm like 100% sure it's going to be true, by the way, is you have skirmishers, you're mining stone intending to go camel archers, and you have light cavalry with 2 stable setup. So now you're missing bloodlines, you're missing husbandry, you're missing +2 armor, you're missing elite skirmisher, you're just now getting, you're missing fletching, armor. Even me, I can't get all these upgrades now. It's too early to be making all of these units. This is why you usually start with 1 unit. If you want to go elite skirmisher, you upgrade elite skirmisher fully, and only support it with a couple cav units. If you want to go cav, you fully upgrade the cav. Now you have 2 units that are not upgraded, and take a look at how the fight's gonna go. His crossbow is, for all intents and purposes, fully upgraded for early Castle Age, with bodkin arrow crossbow in there. And you have units that are not fully upgraded. So now you're playing with a counter unit, and you can see that it's not functioning. And this is exactly the mistake I see countless times at this Elo range and below. It happens so often. You guys love to mix units, and this is why when you talk about RTS and the rock paper scissors of the units and how this counters that but that counters this, it's not really the case. Oh my god, it's an Exodus. We're going to stone. Okay, that was a mistake. Thank god. Yeah, anyway, it's not really a rock paper scissors. At most levels it's not. At most levels it's whoever gets to a fully upgraded unit first and who uses that unit better. Your skirmisher in theory counters both of these units, but because you're not fully upgrading it, it actually counters neither of them. They both kill the skirm. So in his case, why does the pikeman switch work? The pikemen have no upgrades. It works because he got the full upgrades on crossbow first. Watch any pro game. If I'm going to go Elite Skirm Knight, very classic combo by the way. I have plenty of videos of me going Elite Skirm Knight. But it's always Elite Skirm that gets full upgrades, and then I start mixing in a few knights with +1 armor, maybe bloodlines, that kind of stuff. I don't get half upgrades here, half upgrades there. And I have 2 units without full upgrades. Sometimes I do that, it's a huge mistake, and I get punished. But in this case, it's a huge disaster, because we have, like, literally 0 upgrades on Elite Skirmisher, right? And then we're just making all the skirmishes we're making are not getting the same value. So now the push is coming, and now it's looking quite rough. And to be honest, I don't even think what you've went for is a bad idea. It's just that you had to just pick one to start and then mix the other one a bit later. And then obviously the camel archer was just the wrong call. The whole idea of the camel archer at the castle was just a wrong call. You want to get TCs first, right? And then go for like the next units. So you start with 1 unit, then you add in a secondary while booming, and then you can boom to, a different unit later on. Oh, are we gonna go for a forward castle? Oh, it's so funny actually. I love it. I did say that this is like the best low elo strat, or at least one of them. I made a video, top 5 best low elo strategies. I think this is really good. Honestly, if you have any chance to come back, it's this forward castle. I'm feeling good. But again, yeah, just to highlight the problem with the elite skirmishers, this is exactly it. They're just dying. So you're probably confused at this point why this is happening, right? This is why it's really good to get a coach to look at this, or at least someone else. It doesn't have to be me, anyone in your community. This is why I like to connect people as well. The forward cast is happening. Really cute quick walls as well. We'll see how that does. That's gonna be fun. But this is why it's important to have someone else look at this, because you're probably watching this and thinking, I don't know why the elite skirmishers are not working. And this is exactly it. You just don't have the upgrades for it. And the reason that you don't have the upgrades is that you're caught between 2 different units. So those crossbows should have been cleared a long time ago. But okay, let's see. We have a forward castle now to counterattack. Let's see if that gets us back in the game. We can fast forward a little bit more, because I think we've covered a lot of what I did want to cover this rec review. Knights, no +2 armor, so they get clapped as well. Oh, the Vill's coming in! Oh, yeah, that's brutal. Oh, they're fighting. Oh, this is not good. We still lose this, actually. I had the forward castle, but honestly... Oh, he's gonna go for a counter castle. And your opponent, our opponent is actually Imperial Age. Yeah, damn, that guy is doing quite well, to be honest. Yeah, at this point we can basically just fast forward. And just to highlight this, not to make you feel bad or anything, but we basically lost to a very simple crossbow rush and castle age, which you will see this every single game you play against an archer civ, pretty much. This is, or like, 90% of the cases will be like this. So it's important to understand how to stop it, because this is basically what you will face, very often. So it's very likely that you have multiple losses like this that felt frustrating. And I'm telling you, no worries at all. Absolutely no worries. Now we understand the problem. And from here, we can definitely work to fix it. And obviously now the game is completely over. Opponent is Imperial Age. And we can absolutely stop here. So I don't think I need to recap. I think I covered, things pretty well. But if I can give you a couple pointers on what you should focus on now, 100% go back and check a Dark Age build order. Check out my video titled How to Do the Perfect Dark Age on YouTube. It's going to be hard to replicate, but your Dark Age should look like mine, or should look very similar in its concept to mine. And you can use the build orders. I've got a lot of resources to help you get this, because their Dark Age sets up your entire game. After that, you don't have to wall that far up, and you just want to get your military out a little bit earlier. And then going into Castle Age, your simple mistake was just not fully upgrading a unit before committing to the other one. Honestly, this is like a very typical 900 elo game in my opinion, and I'm sure there's going to be a ton of comments. I am 900 elo and I am twice as good as this guy. It's always the same story. For some reason, at the lower level you go, you always think that you're better than the people at your same level. But the reality of it is, you guys just simply make different mistakes. So I can watch any 900 elo rec, and I'll see the same magnitude of mistakes, just different areas. So there's some 900 elo that will fully upgrade the skirms, but then he will have a 1 hour idle TC time. In this case, you have only 3 minutes. So you did well with queuing fills. We give you credit where credit's due, Mr. Jeff. So that's exactly the case here, guys. It's exactly the case. Very typical 900 elo game, in my opinion. I've seen a lot of these mistakes before, and I have some good news. They're pretty easy to fix. They just take, maybe a little bit of work on your end, and maybe you can get 1,000. I don't know if that's your goal, but 1,000 elo is very doable within even a month if you correct these things. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe if you guys do enjoy these coaching sessions. I try to make them a mix of entertainment, with the commentary, and a mix of, obviously, actual good advice for the people sending in these recs. And if you guys are interested, it's just a service I offer through Patreon, and I have a ton of other services on Patreon that you guys can benefit from if you want to get better, if you want to have some fun and let me review your games. If you guys want to catch more of my content, check me out on Twitch as well. Link to both Twitch and Patreon in the description below. Until next time, guys, take care and peace.